So welcome to ENS 185 Engineering Data Analysis. This time we're gonna proceed with the random variables. So we have already discussed about the difference between the probability and statistics. Now, when we say the probability, we're always predicting the likelihood of the future events to happen. No, while when we say statistics, we're gonna actually analyze the frequency of the past events. So given we have a past events, we're trying to predict what will happen. No, you usually see statistics. See, probability is predicting the likelihood of the future events to happen. So consider there is a drawer containing 100 socks. Out of the 100 socks, there are 30 red, 20 blue, and 50 black socks. We can use probability to answer the questions about the selection of a random sample of these socks. For example, if you have a question that what is the probability that we withdraw two blue socks or two red socks from the drawer? So automatically, we can get that through the probability. And also questions like the probability that we pull out three socks of or a matching pairs, or the probability that we draw five socks and they are all black. So we have already discussed how to do that during our prelim. Statistics naman, we always want to predict. We always want to know, no, based sa past events natin. Instead, we have no knowledge about the type of socks in the drawer. What if wala tayong alam sa type and socks sa drawer natin? Hindi natin alam ilan yung red, yung blue, and then yung ano ba ba, yung black socks, no? Then we enter into the realm of statistics. Statistics help us to infer. Ibig sabihin, we try to draw conclusion, no, about the population in the basis of a random sample. So we have a random sample, and then we now try to do a conclusion of a bigger picture. Ganun si statistics. For example, you get a random sample of 10 socks from the drawer, produced one blue, four red, and five black socks. What if nagkuha ka ng random na 10 socks dun, and one is blue, four is red, and five is black? Now, if the question is what is the total population of black, blue, and red socks in the drawer, that would be an inference. No, ibig sabihin, gusto natin malaman kung gaano karami yung black, blue, and red sa whole population. And then we only have the random sample na one blue, four red, and five black. So, limited lang, 10 samples lang, and then we will have a conclusion of what is in the population. Ganun si statistics. Um, Statistics also, for example, we randomly sample 10 socks and write down the number of black socks and then return the socks to the drawer. Pwede rin i-return natin yung drawer, yung socks sa drawer. Then the process is done for 5 times and the mean number of socks for each of these trial is 7. What is the true number of black socks in the drawer? So we're always, sa statistics, we're always trying to conclude what's in the bigger picture or what's in the population. Yun yung nangyari sa statistics. Um, in other words, when we say probability, we are given a model. So and then what kind of data we are likely to see. No? So in statistics, we are given a data and what kind of model is likely to have generated it, or what could we infer from that given data. Most probably these sections sa sa engineering data analysis will deal more on the statistics. We're trying to infer, we're trying to give conclusion of the bigger population. So let's have an example. So a study on health is concerned with the incidence. Just wait for a minute. um, yeah, so a study on health is concerned with the incidence of childhood measles in parents of childbearing age in a city. So let's have a solution for that. This is five. This is module and the variables. So, example, we have, so we, again, this is a measles study. No? So a study in on health is concerned with the incidence of childhood measles in parents of childbearing age. So we're talking about the parents here. We're talking about the parents, no, that could have an incident of measles, no, in a city. For each couple, we would like to know how likely it is that either the mother, so sa parents kasi natin, meron tayong mother and we have the father. No, so we would like to know how likely or what's the probability that either, no, so either the mother or father or both have child have had childhood measles. Kung sino sa kanila ang may measles, either si mother or si father. The current census data indicates that 20% of the adults between ages 17 to 35, so adults between 17 to 35 years old, has a probability of 0.20. No, 20% of them could have a childhood measles. So 20% ng mga parents or ng adult, no, is have had measles. This gives us the probability that an individual in the city has had childhood measles. So yung 20% will give us the probability. We're trying to look at the yung meron kang bigger scale, no? We have the population ng adults 17 to 35, and then kukuha ka ngayon ng probability, no, na magkakaroon ka na ng measles. That's a probability. But then if gagawa ka ng statistics here, no, given that 20%, no, will have childhood measles, what could be the size of the population na merong 17 to 35, na ages 17 to 35 na merong measles. So yung statistics, we're trying to get conclusion of the bigger picture. So we have to define random variables here, no. So, ito yung core nung lessons natin about random variables. So, when we say random variables, it is a rule that assigns a numerical value to an outcome of interest. No? So, it is a numerical value. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng 1, pwedeng 2, pwedeng 3, and pwedeng 4, and so on and so forth. It's a numerical value to an outcome of interest, to an outcome. Okay? So let's go back to the example natin ng measles study, no? We define a random variable x. So meron tayong mag-random variable x tayo as the number of parents in a married couple who have had childhood measles. So if we define x as a random variable, no, that represents number of parents who have had measles. So parang mag-assign ka lang ng number sa probability, no, number of parents in a married couple who have had childhood measles. This random variable can take values zero. So si x na random variable mo could have a value, pwede siyang maging value na zero, one, and 2. Bakit? Pwedeng walang parent either mother or father na may measles, measles is sakit ha, pwedeng walang may sakit, pwedeng isa sa kanila may sakit, or pwedeng dalawa silang may sakit. Ganun yung ibig sabihin ng random variables here, no? Either zero, one, or two. Pwede ka mag-assign ng x is equal to zero, pwede ka mag-assign x is equal to one, pwede ka mag-assign na x is equal to two. And x is equal to zero means walang no parent with measles. Ang one means one of the parent with measles, and yung two is both, no? Either one or both. Dito pala yung either pala sa katas. One of the parents or either one of the parents. Itong two is both parents with measles. Again, pwede tayo mag-assign ng values sa x natin as 0 means wala tayong parents na may measles. X is equal to 1 means one of the parents or either of the parents, bisig isa ra sa ilaha with measles. And 2, ibig sabihin, duha ka parents sila, both parents, kay may measles nung bata pa sila. Okay, so we can assign a random variable 0, 1, 2. Random variables is not exactly the same as the variable defining the data. Tama naman, no? Hindi siya automatically siya yung probability natin. Nag-a-assign lang tayo at again, it is assignment, no? Assign a numerical value. Not necessarily that's the value nung variable na dinidefine natin. Also, the probability that the random variable takes a given value can be computed using rules of governing probability. No, so yung random variable natin, pwede siyang mag-assign ng value, no, from the na nagre-represent ng probability natin. For example, yung x is equal to 1 natin or the random variable x is equal to 1 means either the mother or the father but not the both. You know, it's been either one of the parent with measles, no, is 0.2. So pwede natin sabihin na the probability, no, of the random variable is equal to 1. Anong ibig sabihin ng random variable is equal to 1? Either one of the parent with measles is equal to 0.32. Pwede tayong mag-assign ng ganun. No? Ibig sabihin, yung random variable will just tell you na, okay, ito yung probability na one of the parents ay may measles dati. Okay? But it doesn't really tell you kung ano yung probability. Yung x is equal to 1 is not a probability. It's a random variable. The probability is 0.32. So parang nag-assign ka lang ng pangalan. Nag-assign ka lang ng pangalan doon sa probability mo. So yung probability distribution naman is a definition of probabilities of the values of the random variable. So sinabi natin from its word distribution, marami, no, maraming probability ngayon. So mag-a-assign ka ngayon or gagawa ka ngayon ng maraming probabilities. And each of the probability is assigned to a random variable. Okay? So you have now is a definition of the probabilities. So collection of probabilities. Automatically, it's a collection of probabilities. No? With each of the probability is assigned to a random variable. Okay? So for example, doon pa rin natin sa measles natin, given that example again, no? From our example, given that 0.2 is the probability that a person in ages between 17 to 35 has a childhood measles, then the probability distribution is given by this table. No? So given that the probability of having a measles adult, no, ages between 17 to so this is the probability of having a measles is 0.2, then the probability distribution is given by this graph. No, so ito yung magiging probability distribution mo. For x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, ibig sabihin 0, wala talaga nagka-probability, wala talaga nagka-measles. Probability is 0.64, this is 0.30, kung either one of them 0.32 and both of them 0.04. Question, paano natin to kinukuha? This distribution, this is what we call a distribution. Pwedeng tabular yung distribution mo. No, this is an example of a tabular. No, this is a tabular. This is a tabular form of the distribution. So ipapakita natin ngayon kung paano ba natin kinukuha yung tabular form ng distribution natin. Okay? In data analytics, the probability distribution is important with which many statistics making inferences about population can be derived. So ngayon, gagawa tayo ngayon ng probability distribution para magkaroon tayo ng inferences. No? So the probability distribution will be the one to give you inferences or conclusion of para makagawa ka na ng inferences. So in general, the probability distribution function can take the following form. No? We can always say that x can have a value of x1, x2, and so on and so forth. Gaya ng measles natin with two parents with measles, pwedeng 0, 1, and 2. No? And then, you have now the probability function, no? You have the probability function, pwedeng f of x1, f of x2, and f of x3. Dun sa example natin, the probability with the random variable 0, x equal to 0 is 0.64. The probability with a random variable 1 is 0.32. And the probability of a random variable 2 is 0.04. So, pwede kang gumawa ng tabular na ganun. So, for the measles study, we say that ito yung tabular form mo, pwede kang gumawa ng graphical form, no? So, meron kang graphical form. So, sa graphical form mo lang, gagawa ka lang ng x and y plot mo. So, this is x, this is f of x, this is the probability, ha? Si f of x is the probability. The probability of the random variable x will happen. No? So 0.64 here, this is 0.64, and then gagawa ka na naman dito na this is for 0, this is for 1 is 0.32, and for the 2 is 0.04. So pwede kang tabular form, graphical form. Okay. Now, yung probability distribution natin comes into two ways. Meron tayong tinatawag na discrete probability distributions and continuous probability distributions. Okay, pag sinabi natin discrete, no, automatically that the variable that assumes a countable number of values. So, ibig sabihin, you have a countable number of values lang. A finite number of values or a countable number of values, and it represented counted data. No, so, we have two kinds of probability distribution, no, or two kinds of random variables. We have the discrete and also have the continuous. continuous random variables. And these discrete random variables, no, will result, the probability model of random variable that result from experiments that are counts is called the discrete probability distribution. Okay. So yung discrete random variables natin, no, the x1, x02, x03 will give you a discrete probability distribution, no? Also, kung na may continuous random variables ka, you will result a continuous probability distribution. Okay. So yun lang yung tatandaan natin ha. Um, yung random variables natin magkakaroon siya ng result, magkakaroon siya ng outcome na probability distribution. Kung may discrete random variables ka such as 0, 1, 2, countable siya, it's discrete, magkakaroon ka ng discrete probability distribution. Pero kung may continuous ka, like for example, yung mga measured values natin, no, like time, distance, height, weight, no, very continuous. So nagkakaroon ka rin ng continuous probability distributions doon. Okay? So meron tayong mga types of discrete probability distribution. We have the binomial distribution, multinomial distribution, Poisson's distribution, hypergeometric distribution. Meron pa tayong geometric distribution. I'm just gonna add it here later on. Meron din tayong negative binomial distribution. No? So sa discrete, meron tayong binomial, i-add ko na lang ha. We have Poisson's, multinomial, hypergeometric. This one, two, three, four. Ang pang fifth is the geometric. Mamaya i-discuss natin ng isa-isa. We have geometric. This is probability distribution. Gawin natin PD. Probability distribution. We have also a negative binomial. Probability distribution. So yung each of the probability distribution, pwede tayong gumawa ng tabular form niya, pwede tayong gumawa ng graphical form ng probability distribution natin. Distribution, no, either discrete or continuous, is widely used in simulation studies. So a simulation study uses a computer to simulate a real phenomenon or process as closely as possible. The use of simulation studies can often eliminate the need of costly experiment and also use often to study problems where actually experimentation is possible. But for the sake of this class, no, hindi naman tayo magsa-simulate. No? Um, for example, paano natin nakikita ano yung pagkakaiba ng uh, the binomial and Poissons. So, a study involving testing the effectiveness of a new drug, the number of cured patients among all patients who uses such drug is follows a binomial distribution. Automatically, pag sinabi natin binomial distribution from the word itself binomial, we only have two events, no? Or we only have two outcomes pala. Either it's success or either it's failure. No? So binomial, dalawa lang. success or failure. Pag sinabi natin Poisson's distribution naman, it's a function of time or a space. So for example, we operate ticketing system in a busy public establishment. The arrival of the passengers can be simulated using Poisson's distribution because it really depends on the time. No? Magkakaiba yung nung probability sa time and sa space. So this is are some important identities for random discrete probability distribution. Ito lang yung mga important identities. No? We always say that the no ang importante here, no, let me go back lang. Okay, so we have the probability that ang ibig sabihin lang nito, no, is ito number two, no, the total probability must be equal to 1. So each of the isusulat ko na lang dito para mas klaro. So we have the important properties, no. Now, yung pinaka-importante, this is just a summary, no. Itong isusulat ko. We say that the probability of the x of the random variable must be greater than or equal to 0. Tama ba? For example, dun sa missile study natin, 0.64 is greater than 0, 0.32 is greater than 0, 0.04 is greater than 0. So tama. This is for all values of the random variable x. Another property that is very important, we say that the summation of the probability, the summation of the probability distribution of any random variable must be equal to 1, no, at all x. So doon sa example natin, nag-equal to 1 ba siya? 0.64 plus 0.032 and 0.04. Automatically, we say that the the summation of the probability, no, the summation of all the probability px, probability distribution px, is equal to 0.64 plus 0.32 plus 0.04, that is equal to 1. That's another property, no. And we also say that the probability of the event to happen, no, of that event of happen is equal to the summation of the probability distribution at random variable x, where x is an element of the no, of the event, no. Dapat si x is an element of for example, kukunin mo lahat ng probability na puro true, so lahat dapat true yung x mo, no, or success, lahat dapat successful lang yung i-consider mo, hindi mo na i-consider si lahat ng failure mo, so i-add mo lang lahat ng mga success mo. So meron tayong question dito, uh, later on na lang. So ito yung nakikita natin sa number 3, no. And then we say that the probability of the success plus the probability of the failure is equal to 1, or the probability of the event E to happen plus the probability of the event E not to happen, the non-occurrence must be equal to 1, which is napag-aralan na natin yan last prelim. We also say that ipalakin ko na lang to. Okay, we also say that the probability of the random variable x, which is equal to a, no, any assigned number a, is equal to the probability function fa, no, lahat ng f dito is what we call a probability function, no, must be equal to the summation of the probability function, no, of that at a, no, from 0 to a, minus the probability of the summation, minus the summation of the probability from 0 to a minus 1. Later on ipapakita natin kung paano ito gagamitin. Kung less than naman, kukunin mo lang yung summation ng f of x at that a, no. Kung less than lang, here is less than or equal. Kung less than lang, a minus 1. Hanggang a minus 1 ka lang. Pag greater than, you have 1 minus the probability x less than 1, which x less than a, which is here, number 8. So, 1 minus 8. Ito yung si number 9. Si number 10 naman, if greater than lang siya, this is 1 minus a lang. Here is a minus 1. So just take note of these important properties na hindi na nasulat dito sa notes natin. So we have a question, example, ito lang, i-test lang yung knowledge nyo sa probability. If you have a probability distribution that will look like this, we have x, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7. This is random variable 4, random variable 5, random variable 6, random variable 7. And each of the random variable represents a probability function. No? So this is a probability function. No? So 0.120, 0.253, 0.217, and 0.40. Question: does the given table determine a probability distribution? Is this a probability distribution? Let's see. First thing to know, dapat greater than 0 or equal to 0 lahat ng probability function. So this is greater than 0, which is greater than 0, greater than 0, greater than 0, this is greater than 0. So it's na-comply natin sa number 1. Number 2, the summation of all the probability function must be equal to 1. So pag in-add ba natin 'yan, nag-equal ba siya sa 1? Automatically it equals to 1. Therefore, it's a probability distribution. So dito pa lang pag na-comply mo na tong dalawa, automatically if complied, then it is a probability distribution. Okay, so let's proceed dun sa binomial natin, no? Kasi 'di ba sinabi na natin na we have discrete probability distributions. Ngayon, we have 6 different kinds of discrete probability distribution. Unahin natin si binomial distribution. When we say binomial distribution, in many situations, an outcome has only two outcomes. Dapat an event has only two outcomes, no? Either success or failure. So si binomial, either success or failure lang. It's binomial, bi. Okay? Such outcome is called dichotomous outcome. An experiment, when consists of repeated trials, each with dichotomous outcome is called Bernoulli, yeah, double C pala sa success, sorry. Success or failure. If marami kang repeated trials, if repeated trials, ang tawag sa kanya is Bernoulli. If repeated trials and then may success and failure ka lang, na outcome, it's what we call a Bernoulli. Example, if you fire a bullet to hit a target, no? So yung pag-fire mo ng bullet to hit a target, either it's miss or hit, tama ba? Dalawa lang yung pwedeng maging um, outcome niyan. So yung outcome mo can either be hit or miss. Suppose in a Bernoulli process, ibig sabihin marami kang ginawang trial para magbaril, we define a random variable x means that the number of success in trials. So we define a random variable x, no, means it is a success. So ilan yung nagkaroon ka ng hit, no? Automatically we're trying to uh, build a probability distribution doon sa lahat ng pagbaril mo na nakahit. No? Such a random variable obeys the binomial probability distribution. No? If the experiment satisfies the following conditions. Number one, the experiment consists of n trials. Makailang subok ka ba mag-fire ng bullet? No? Number two, each trial results in one or two mutually exclusive outcome labeled as success or failure. So, number one, either makasuccess ka, makahit ka, or maka-failure ka. So, dalawa lang yung pwedeng maging outcome talaga ni binomial. Success or maka-fail ka. Doon mo malalaman na binomial. Number three, the probability of a success on a single trial is equal to P. So, the probability is P, which is remains constant throughout the experiment. And the probability of the failure automatically is 1 is Q. Let's say this is Q, which is 1 minus P. Ang probability ng success is equal to P. The probability of failure is 1 minus P. And that the trials are independent. No? Each of the trial mo, yung pagbaril mo, is an independent of one another. So doon mo malalaman na, okay, we're following a binomial probability distribution. So a binomial probability distribution automatically follows this equation. We have the function of computing the probability for the binomial probability distribution is given by f of x is equal to n factorial over x factorial times n minus x factorial. The probability of success raised to the number of success in a trial, 1 minus p, the probability of the total na 1 minus p, no, this is probability of failure. Lagyan natin the probability of success raised to the success trial times the probability of failure, no, n minus x, and q is equal to 1 minus p. Kaya nagkakaroon ka ng equation ito. Now x, ha, yung x is the success. If f of x, no, which is the probability function, you know, is a probability of a random variable x, where x denote the number of success, the x is equal to x denotes the number of success in x trials. So, bibilangin mo ngayon kung ilan yung success doon sa number of trials mo. So, let's go back to the measles study. Di ba the question is, paano tayo nakakuha ng 0.64? Paano tayo nakakuha ng 0.32? And paano tayo nakakuha ng 0.004? Now, let's denote sa okay, let's go back to the example sa measles natin. Okay, let's denote X as having a success. No? Success, sino ba naman magsa-success na may measles ka? Pero just for the sake of this problem na lang, para maintindihan yung problem. So let's say that X is a random variable na magkakaroon ka ng success of measles. Ibig sabihin, totoong may measles ka. No? Or nagka-measles si parent mo. And the probability that a parent had a childhood measles is 0.2. Yan yung probability na ang parent ages 17 to 35 is merong measles, no? Pinakita na natin yan sa 20% kanina, ito. Now, ilan ba yung N mo? Ilan ba yung ita-trial mo? Ilang tao? Automatically dalawa, no? You have the mother and father. So N is equal to 2. So here we have a couple na kailangan nating na dumaan ng trial natin. Individual a trial and the number of the trial is 2. Therefore, the probability of x is equal to 0. First natin gagawin is if we have no success, no? Ibig sabihin ng x is equal to 0, no success. Wala ka talagang nagkaroon ng measles. We say that if you follow the equation, that's n is equal to 2, 2 factorial over the 0 factorial, 2 minus 0, 2 factorial, then the probability is 0.2 raised to 0, and we have 1 minus 0.2 is 0.8 raised to 2 minus 0. That is equal to 0.64. So the probability that wala ka talagang success na makuha sa dalawang tao, the mother and the father, is 0.64. The probability na merong isa sa kanila, either one of them is merong um, measles, no? Either the mother or father had measles is 0.32. No, you follow the equation 2 factorial, 1 factorial, 2 minus 1 factorial times 0.2. The p raised to 1, 0.8, 2 minus 1, and that's 0.32. Ganyan natin kinuha kanina yung probability function natin. Ay, yung probability distribution natin rather. So, yung probability na lahat sila is nagka-measles before is 0.04. All, both, this is both mother and father had measles. So, see, ginawa natin is from the probability na meron kang 0.2 ages 17 to 35 years old, and then meron kang dalawang tao lang, what is the probability na wal, wala talaga sa kanila? 0.64. No, ibig sabihin, nililimit mo ngayon kasi itong 0.2 is the probability of the population. No, this is talking about the population. Now, what if you have a sample? Meron kang sample, like the n is equal to 2. No? This time, from the population itself, titingnan mo yung sample, which is ang sample natin is the mother and the father. Ililimit mo ngayon yung yung i-eksperimentuhan mo. And these are the probabilities. Okay? Ganun si binomial na probability natin. So, you can verify that in real life experiment. Ito nag-verify lang ng real life experiment. For example, meron kang 10 pairs na ginawa. Instead of we have 10 pairs na ginawa, again dalawa yung um, n natin, no? Which is 1 and 2. And then, ito yung ginawa niya, no? The probability na wala talaga is 0.7, the probability na isa is 0.3, and the probability na wala, na dalawa sila is may measles, 0.7 which is close to 0.64, 0.3 which is close to 0.32, and 0 which is close to 0.04. So this has a close similarity with the binomial probability distribution. So na-verify na nangyayari talaga si binomial distribution in real life experiment. Okay, so we will have this kind of example. Although wala siya sa slides, no, but here is a sample. Suppose x is a binomial random variable with n is equal to 4 and p is equal to 0.2. So we have x as the random variable natin. and we have n is equal to 4, the probability of success is 0.2. Now, calculate the probability distribution, no, when x is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you get the probability distribution. Okay, so isa-isahin natin. For letter A, no, we have the probability distribution na we say that P is equal to 0.2. Automatically, si Q is equal to 0.8. No? So, the P at 0, no, or P at X is equal to 0 na lang para mas consistent tayo. X is equal to 0 is equal to 4 factorial because n is equal to 4, 0 times 4 minus 0 factorial, the probability of success is 0.2 raised to 4. This is 0 point, raised to 0 pala. Times 0.8 raised to 4 minus 0. And that will give you 0.4096. So this is the probability na magkaroon ka lang ng success. Ay, no, I mean, wala ka talagang success kay x is equal to 0 pala. So, what if x is equal to 1? So this is 0.4096. When x is equal to 2, this is 0.1536. You just follow the formula of the binomial. P x is equal to 3, it's 0.0256, and p 0, x is equal to 4. So, one way to look at is na, okay, you're doing good or you're doing the right thing is that once na palaki ng palaki yung x mo, like 1, 2, 3, it's going up, no? Or nagkaka-increase, lumiliit yung probability mo or lumiliit yung probability function mo. Naging 0.0128. Kasi nga, mahirap naman na for example, dun sa measles study natin, mahirap naman talaga na dalawang parents mo talaga nagkaroon na ng measles before. No? Automatically, napakalaki talaga ni x is equal to 0, 0.64 kasi um, 0.2 lang yung sa population na merong sakit o na measles. Okay? So maliit lang din. So dapat yung success na yung probability na wala talagang sakit mas mataas, 0.64. Okay, so doon mo malalaman na you're doing the right thing kung as you proceed with X, no? Kung lumalaki yung X mo, dapat lumiliit si probability function mo or the values of the probability function. So, yung distribution mo ngayon, the probability distribution will look like we have X, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, no? N is equal to 4, ha? N is equal to 4. And then you have the probability of, yeah, the probability of X. The probability function, X, same here. So we have 0.4096, 0.4096. We have 0.1536, 0.0256, 0.00128. So, ganito ka gumawa ng probability distribution. Okay. Another example. So, given x is a random variable of success, no? Again, it's a random variable. And n is equal to 20. O, medyo malaki na. Yung dati, n is equal to 4 lang tayo. N is equal to 2. Ngayon, n is equal to 20. The probability of x to happen is 0.6, no, the probability of success. Let's just say this is success, no, the random variable of success. The probability of success is 0.6. Then we say that letter A, we have to find the probability that x equals 11. The probability that x equals 11. Ngayon, then letter B, the probability that x is less than or equal to 10. Letter C, the probability that x is greater than 12. Okay, paano natin to ipipicture out? Let's just say na magfe-flip ka ng ano ba yung 0.6 talaga. Kasi 0.5 kasi yung flipping of coins eh. Yung P is 0 to 0.5 yung flipping of coins. Anyway, ko na lang, anything na lang, no? For example, um, bumunot ka, no? Bumunot ka ng marble. Okay? The probability na makakuha ka ng gusto mong marble is 0.6, no? And then ngayon, ang gagawin mo, maka 20 ka makabunot, no? Maka 20 ka total na makabunot ng marbles. Ngayon, gusto mong malaman kung ano yung probability na makuha mo yung gusto mo na 11 kabuok or 11 times. 11 times na makuha mo yung gusto mo. Letter B, makuha mo yung gusto mo less than or equal to 10. Like, makakuha ka ng gusto mo na 9, makakuha ka ng gusto mo na 8. No? Maka 8 ka makakuha ng gusto, maka 7 ka makakuha ng gusto mo. Ito, greater than 12. No? Greater than 12. Ibig sabihin, pwede kang makakuha ng gusto mo na maka 13 times, maka 14 times, naka 15 times. So, let's see kung paano natin to isosolve. Okay, so our solution here will look like, okay, for letter A, we say that the probability of x equals 11. So, ibig sabihin, we find the probability where x is equal to 11, no? So, that's P11. This is 20 factorial over 11 factorial. 20 minus 11 is 9 factorial times the probability of success na makakuha ka ng gusto mo is 0.6, no? Tapos, x is equal to 11. Maka 11 ka gusto na success yung makuha mo. And then, 1 minus 0.6 is 0.4. And then, 20 minus 11 is 9. So, that will give you ang probability na makakuha ka ng exactly 11 na success. Maka 11 ka makakuha ng gusto mo na marble is, calculate mo yan, is 0.1597. Or, um, just wait. Okay? So that's how are you gonna calculate for that. So one thing din na para kunin natin yung mga probability natin here is using the table, no? I think nasa main reference natin yung table. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, nasa main reference natin yung table natin. Okay, let's find na lang. Baka nandito. Okay, so let's find the probability binomial distribution. Kasi pwede tayong hindi mag-solve na eh. Titingnan na lang natin sa table yung values kasi meron yan eh. Okay. Ito, statistical tables and proof nasa page 725. So, let's go to 725. Okay. It's T table. Um, be, baka lumabas na. Okay, 725. This is cal. Ito, binomial. Ang meron lang sa table natin is, this is sum na. Sum. Okay. Okay, paano natin makukunin sa x is equal to 11 talaga? Okay, note that x is equal to 11 is the column, the recorded, wait lang. Kasi wala kasi dito eh. Okay, we say from our properties, no, from the properties, so this is another way ha, alternate solution. So from the properties natin, we say that ito, the probability of A to happen, the Px is equal to A is equal to the summation of the, medyo maliit, at x is equal to 0, A f of x is equal minus summation of x to a1 f of x. So ngayon, titingnan natin sa table natin, saan natin makikita itong si summation f of x from 0 to a and summation of f of x 0 to a minus 1. Okay? So if a px is equal to 11, therefore, our a is equal to 11, a minus 1 is equal to 10. Ngayon, hahanapin natin sa table, dun sa main reference natin, um, si ito, the summation, hala, 725. Okay. So sa x11, this is summation. So ito yung hinahanap natin, summation of the probability function, no? X is equal to 0 to a. Hanapin ngayon natin si n is equal to 20. No, our n is 20. N is equal to 20. N is equal to 1, 2, 3 hanggang 20. 17, 18, 19, 20. 20. Ngayon hanapin natin si 11. X is equal to 11. X or itong R, 11. So dito ka titingin na table, ano, and then ipo-project mo yung si 11. So X is equal to 11. But note, this is summation. So first is the Px is equal to 11 is the summation of the f of x is equal to 0 to a, to 11. So, hanapin mo si 11 at point 6. So, our probability is point 6, di ba? So, point 6 here at this table, F11. Tama ba? 0.04044? Yes, 4044. Uh, 11, 0.4. So, is 0.4044 minus the probability dun sa the summation, no? Summation of the probability function sa 10. A minus 1 is equal to 10. So, 404, ito yung 10. That's 2447. Therefore, the probability at exactly 11 yung makukuha mo, exactly 11 yung makukuha mo is 0.4044 minus 0.2447 equals 0.1597, which is equal here. So, pwedeng dalawa yung solution mo. Pwedeng isa-isahin mo, isolve natin using the equation or hanapin natin using the table. No? From the properties here, and then ang alternate solution natin is, this is from table, anong table to? A.1 of Walpole na reference natin. Okay, next, letter B. So, letter B natin is probability when x less than 10. So, x less than or equal to 10. Okay, so madali na lang to. Let's look at the properties. We say that sa properties natin, we have kung the probability of x less than a is equal to the sum of f of x is equal to 0, a. So, hahanapin natin yung yan sa table at a. So, probability of x less than or equal to 10 is equal to x going to from 0 going to 10, f of x. So, pupunta from Walpole na table, so from table A.1, ano ba yung at x is equal to 10, 20 pa rin yung n natin, x is equal to 10, and then point 0.6. Point 0.6 is 0.2447. So therefore, this one is equal to 0. Bakit parang hindi siya na... Therefore, from table point 1, p x less than 10, no? Summation of f of x from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 10 is equal to 0.2 from 20, 10, 0.22447. Again, paano ko nahanap si 2, point 2, 0.2447 when x is equal to 10 and the probability is 6. The probability of success is 6. Letter C, when x is greater than 12. So from properties, we have something greater than. Hindi yung equal ha, itong greater than lang. So we say that the probability of x greater than a is equal to the 1 minus the summation of probability function x from x is equal to 0 to a. So that will give you 1 minus the x is equal to 0 to 10 summation of f of x. So this is equal to 1 minus 0.2447, and the probability x greater than 12 is equal to um tama ba? Wait lang. This is greater than 12. Up to 12 pala. Up to 12, sorry. Up to 12. So hanapin natin si 12 doon sa table natin. So balik tayo sa table ni Walpole. This is 20, 12 at 0.6. So this is 0.5841. 0.5841. Therefore, the answer here is 0.4159. Okay, so nakuha natin ngayon yung the probability of getting at exactly 11, the probability of getting x is less than or equal to 10, the probability that x is greater than 12 if we have number of trials natin na 20, and the probability of success is 0.6. Using the equation and using the Walpole table, the table here, binomial probability sums. Okay, so that's how are you gonna use the table, no, natin. Okay, so multinomial naman, so yun si binomial distribution. Si multinomial naman is the binomial experiment becomes a multinomial experiment if we let each trial has more than two possible outcomes. No, more than two possible outcomes na. So dito kasi is meron lang tayong dalawang possible outcomes, success or failure, which is the P, either 0.6 or 0.4. No, sa example natin dito, we have sa example natin, the P na nakuha natin is na given tayo is 0.6. Therefore, Q is 0.4. Automatically, this is the failure and dalawa lang yung outcome mo. Sa multinomial is tatlo na yung outcome mo. P, Q, R, X, or depende. No? P1 is the first outcome, P2 is the second outcome, P3 is the third outcome. So you have different outcomes naman to. So if that's the case, then the F, no, the probability F is equal, um, yeah, the probability of any function to happen is equal to n factorial over x1 factorial, x2 factorial, up to xk factorial times p1 raised to x1, p2 raised to x2, and so on and so forth. No? Note that if you sum the xi, it must be equal to the n. And if you sum the probability, dapat is equal to 1. That's a property. No? Lahat ng x mo, pag nag-add ka, dapat maging n. Lahat ng p mo, pag nag-add ka, dapat magiging 1. So, we also have um, ano nga yun kanina, multinomial yun, no? Hypergeometric naman, collection of samples with two strategies, no? Pwede kang mag-replacement, pwede kang without replacement, no? So, yung ginagawa natin sa binomial is usually with replacement 'yon. Ibig sabihin, binabalik mo yung material mo. So, usually si kuan here replacement. Pero again, isusulat na lang natin 'to, no. So, multinomial sa multinomial naman, we have the f of x1 or x2 or x3 and so on and so forth is n factorial over x1 factorial, x2 factorial out to xk factorial times p1 raised to x1, p2 raised to x2, so for pk raised to xk. Pag hypergeometric naman tayo, usually si hypergeometric is without replacement. So once na nakuha mo na yung isa, hindi mo na ibabalik. Okay, so probability of observing 3 cards in 5 draws from ordinary deck of 52 playing cards. You draw 1 card, note that the result and the return to the deck of cards, no. So you know the result and then you return. So then you reshuffle the deck well before the next drawing is made, no. So yun yung ginagawa natin sa replacement. Pag mag without replacement ka, uh, the hypergeometric distribution does not require independence and is based on the sampling done without replacement. Ibig sabihin, kinuha mo na yung si success mo or si trial mo, hindi mo na siya pwedeng ibalik. So, lumiliit yung success mo sa susunod na trial mo. No? Kasi kinukuha mo na yung mga success mo. So, yung pag gawa lang natin no, the probability function f of x or p, the probability of any random variable x is equal to ito kn times the n minus k tapos n minus x over big letter n, small letter n. So, paano ba natin yan siya sinusolve na lang diretso? No? Pag sinabi nating kx, pag sinabi nating then kn, pag ganyan yung notation natin, ang ibig sabihin lang yan, we have k factorial, this is x pala, no? Sorry. Ang ibig sabihin lang ng ganito, parang naka-parenthesis siya, tapos we have nasa upper level, then the lower level. Ang ibig sabihin lang yan is we have k factorial over, this is x factorial times k minus x factorial. And then, pag sinabi natin n minus k and then n minus x, automatically, pwede nating sabihin na it's n minus k factorial over n minus x factorial. And then we have n minus k minus n minus x factorial. And then, i-substitute natin doon. So, we have n naman dito ibig sabihin yan, n factorial. We have n, small letter n factorial, big letter n, small n factorial. I-substitute lang natin doon sa main equation natin. And then makakuha na tayo ng equation natin probability, hypergeometric probability distribution. Sa multivariate naman na hypergeometric, you just follow the equation coming from here. Ibig sabihin lang nito, to treat the case where n items can be divided into k class. No? So, parang ganun sa Mississippi natin na equation. No? It can be divided into different classes. We have A1, A2, A sub k with elements, with A1 elements in the first class, and so on and so forth. So if n items are partitioned into k classes, so marami kang k classes sa n mo. No? We have A1, A2, and so on and so forth. So gagamitin natin to. Again, si x natin is a random variable natin. No? Usually si success naman talaga si x natin. And then lastly is the Poisson's distribution. There are some experiments which involves the occurring of number of outcomes during the given time interval. Ang tawag doon is Poisson's distribution. And ang Poisson's distribution usually follows this equation of um, we have the probability of a random variable happen x is e to the negative lambda time. I think this is time. And then times lambda time x over x factorial, where x either random variable 0, 1, and so on and so forth. So, lambda is the average number of outcomes per unit time. So, yun na nga. May definition naman na si lambda is average definition of time, and that's equal, and E is equal to 2.7182. Okay, so yun yung mga different distributions natin. We only have to note that pagdating sa probability distribution, meron tayong tinatawag na expected. So yung expected natin, ibig sabihin siya yung mean. No? Siya yung mean kasi nga, ibig sabihin di ba ng mean is para siya yung average. Siya yung usually siya yung pinakamarami, malaking value, no? So pag tinatanong yung expected values of the discrete random variables, automatically kinukuha natin si mean. And si mean of a random variable is equal to the summation of the x, no? Kung anong x 'yon, times the probability function of that x. Again, it's the summation of the x times the probability function f of x. Pag kukuha tayo ng variance naman, dapat meron tayong mean, and then isa-isahin natin si x natin times the f of x, then kukunin natin yung summation. Summation of x minus mu squared times the probability function x. So ito same lang din, no? If we have for discrete uniform distribution where f of x is 1 over n. So f of x natin is 1 over n naman, di ba? So we have 1 over n summation of xi. Ito sinasabi natin na if we have a uniform distribution. And then we have the variance that will look like this. Yung descriptive measures, from the word itself, descriptive, similar sa descriptive statistics, kumukuha tayo ng mean, kumukuha tayo ng variance, no? So, kung binomial tayo, kukuha tayo ng mean, no? Binomial distribution is characterized with the probability of success, and n is the number of trials. So, the mean of the binomial distribution is equal to the number of trials times the probability of success. So, yung variance natin is NP minus 1 minus P. NP times 1 minus P. So, hypergeometric naman, di ba yung hypergeometric natin is characterized with the size of the sample and the number of the items, and K labeled success. So we have N is the number of sample, K is the labeled success, kung ilan yung success natin, and then yung N is the number of items. Ganito tayo magkuha ng mean. And then ganito tayo magkuha ng variance ng hypergeometric distribution. And the bosons is we have the lambda times the time. Means ang lambda is the mean of the outcome. No? Yeah, it's the average of the outcome per unit time. Ay, ilan yung average na nakukuha natin sa outcome. And then the variance is lambda time lang din. Okay, so that is the introduction for the discrete probability function. Next meeting, we will have examples on the different uh, discrete probability distribution. Okay, so it's almost time. Thank you very much. I-stop ko lang yung recording ko.